Hey guys, thank you for tuning in again to my channel. So today's vlog, this weekly vlog topic is going to be on tips or safety tips, suggestions for succeeding in college. And these also can apply to high school as well, because as high school, if you're in high school, you are technically, an adolescent. You're, depending on where you're at, if you're a junior or a senior, you may be, on the edge of young adulthood, and you should be taking responsibility for your own education. But I am going to give you guys some tips, safety tips and suggestions on how to succeed in college. And so my first tip is show up. You got to show up to class to learn. If you are not present and accounted for and ready to focus, you will not be able to succeed. So what does that mean? That means getting a good night rest. That means getting a good breakfast, whether it's a banana and some yogurt, some peanuts, an apple. Take some with you with orange juice, but get something in your body to get your metabolism going so that you can be awake and ready to learn. And once you are in the classroom, well, before you get to the rest, make sure you come to class on time. Especially in college. College, they start lecturing like that. Class started at 8 o'clock. The professor's ready to lecture at 7:59. So show up on time. If you're late, the first 10 minutes, you could be missing a test question that could be on the midterm that could between the difference between a B+ or A-, or even a passing grade or a failing grade. So make sure that you're showing up on time. It's so important and essential for success, which it also applies in the real world when you get a job. So yeah, you need to show up on time. The third thing that I could say is to make sure that your professor and your TAs, they know your name. So introduce yourself. Get to know them. Go to office hours. Go to your discussion groups. These are the people that can be writing your recommendation letters for grad school. They can be writing your recommendation letters for med school, for a job one day. These are the people that will be giving you character references and references to your hard work. And if they don't know your name, they can't possibly begin to write, a letter. So make sure that you get to know them. And also, make sure you volunteer. So a good way to volunteer is just to join a sorority and a fraternity, because they're usually really good at doing volunteer activities within the organization. So that is one way that you can, become a volunteer. You can learn how to volunteer. It's easy access to volunteer opportunities. Now, I never was in a sorority or fraternity, but there are other things that you can do. You can get involved in church and volunteer through that way, or you can, pick independent projects that you would like to be involved in. But those things are good to put on your resume when or even, not just on your resume, but they're good to be putting in your LinkedIn profile. They have a volunteer section. So you want to fill that stuff up, especially if you don't work. Volunteering is a good way to fill in that gap, to show, hey, I care about something other than myself, and I'm dependable and responsible, and I have leadership skills because I led this volunteer opportunity in XYZ such a way. So after you show up to class, making sure that you're known by your professors and you're on time, you also need to get to know the people who are in your same degree, major, or who have the same focus for you. So if you want to go to med school, you probably want to go to that med school call out meeting and get to know the people who are in that, who are leading that, so that they can somehow come alongside you and mentor you and help you and encourage you through that process. If you don't know these people, especially if you're a first generation college student, like you didn't have a parent or a grandparent or aunt or uncle who went to college, then you definitely want to come alongside someone who has been in through this experience, who knows the framework, who can help you and guide you along the way, because there are so many hidden secrets and tricks and tips that first generation college students don't get. So you definitely want to come alongside someone who has been through these same hoops. So I would say definitely connect with people who have the same interest as you in terms of career goals, because those are the people who are going to encourage you to succeed. They're going to be the ones that you can lean on in hard times. Those are going to be the ones that you can help supplement your education, who can help explain stuff when you don't quite get it, especially that organic chemistry, because it's a beast and you're going to need somebody to come alongside you, just being from personal experience. And so, you know, once you get to know everybody who's around you and you volunteer, not necessarily everybody around you, don't want to know everybody. There are some people you should stay away from in college. If you know there's that person who's at every party, turning up nonstop, Monday through Sunday, Sunday through Saturday, that person probably isn't going to be there next semester. And you don't want that to be you. So if your roommate is constantly going out and partying, or, you know, you might have a friend from high school who's constantly going out and partying, those are the people who you don't necessarily want to distance yourself from, because you still want to know what's going on in the social scene. But you do want to let them know, hey, I'm serious about mine, so I got to get mine today. You know, maybe we can go out. You might be able to plan something right before spring break or something like that. But, you know, you want to be able to get your education and not so much focusing on going out every weekend. And, you know, it's okay to go out, because I think that you do have to have a good school and social life balance, because socializing is as much important with college as it is, you know, the school part, because you can network. You know, you might be able to have a friend who dad owns a company who's in the same, you know, business that you want to be in, or in the same, you know, area that you want to be in, and so you can network that way. But definitely, you know, you want to socialize and network with the right people. So making sure that, you know, little Sally Susie, who's always partying all the time, she ain't gonna be here. She's not gonna be here next year. But, you know, Billy Bob, whose dad owns, you know, a marketing firm, and I'm a marketing major, I might want to network with Billy Bob and get in real good with him, because I might need a job one day. So I would definitely say network and socialize with the right people. And just remember, birds of a feather flock together. So if you see somebody who's on the same pathway as you, or is, you know, trailblazing in this area that you want to be involved in, flock with them. Don't flock with the wrong people. As far as like safety tips, so, you know, you are going to go out in college. Every person that I know who went to college, everybody goes out. And everybody, for the most part, participates in alcoholic beverages. So these are some of the safety tips that can keep people safe, especially women and men too, because at this point in time, you know, consent with sex and rape, it's a very thick gray line, and you want to make sure everyone's yes is yes and everyone's no is no. If it's yes, no, maybe, then you probably shouldn't cross it. And so the ways to protect yourself when that is, to make sure that when you are drinking, you stay in control of all your faculties, meaning you're not stumbling around, you know, your speech isn't slurring, you're not falling out, you're not passing out, you're not, you know, throwing up and blacking out. You do not want to be that person at every single party, not even at one party, because it sucks the next day. You're going to be in loads of pain. That hangover is a beast. But I would say definitely stay in control of your body. If you can't remember the last 2 songs the DJ played in the club, then you probably want to slow down and start drinking some water and sobering up, you know, and definitely don't drive. You know, get your Uber, taxi. Some buses, some schools have shuttles that you take you to and from the club scene. Utilize those. Some people take turns being DD, but just make sure you're not drinking and driving. You don't want to jeopardize your future or your safety, and make sure that you are able to stay in control of your faculty. So if you have to fight, you can fight, you know, for your consent or for your life. Because these days folks is robbing, killing, and raping everybody, men and women. And then another safety tip is, which is an old age adage. My grandma told me this, my mama told me this, my aunts told me this, every woman in my family have told me this. If you put your drink down, baby, you don't come back to it. Honey, don't come back to it. It's gone. And the reason for that is, if you don't know, if you have not been born before 1962, is that people can put stuff in your drink that can dissolve, and basically you can drink it, pass out, somebody can take advantage of you in that way, whether they can rob you of your money, they can rob you of your money and your dignity, all at the same time. So just make sure that you're not, you put a drink down, you don't pick it back up if you go somewhere. So if I put my drink down at the bar, I go to the bathroom, when I come back, I'm definitely not gonna be drinking that. And then that also leads me to the fact that, being a young college student and you going out with people you just met, you can't trust everybody. Not everybody is your friend, not everybody has your good interest at heart. And so tell your parents where you are going and with whom you are going with, because your parents are the ones who will get that phone call if something bad happens to you. And so it's good not to catch them off guard. And they're the ones, if you do something stupid, they're the ones who have to bail you out of it, whether it be jail, whether it be hospital bills, so be respectful and at least text your mom, hey mom, I'm going out with Ann and Julia, text you in the morning. That's all you need to do. And not everybody has that relationship, so text a cousin, text a brother or a sister, text an aunt or an uncle, text somebody who you can trust to let them know who you are going out with, and it can't be the people you're going out with. So if you're going out with Ann and Sally, don't text Ann and Sally, hey, going out with Ann and Sally. No, it needs to be somebody else who you can trust, who's not on that campus, who's not attached. So there's no attachments, no protection there. They're not going to try to protect the people who you went out with, something happening with. No, text somebody who don't go to school there. Text, a friend at a different school. Text a brother or a cousin, somebody who's not there with you. That way, somebody at least knows what happened to you or who you went out with. And then my last tip is just when you do go off campus, just be aware of where you're going and who you're going with. If you meet some men off campus, some guys, and they're like, hey, come back to our house, you know what? Be like, can't do it tonight, because you don't know them. Or you can, say, let's go to a common area where we can all hang out, somewhere that everybody is there. I would not go off campus, or even go, if you're already off campus, go to a different location with people you just met. It's just not safe. I've done it in the past. I've lived to tell about it, but that's not everybody's story. So these are just tips that I'm giving, young men, young women, to be safe, because people are preying on people all over, whether it be men preying against men, men preying on women, women preying on men. That does happen. It's not reported as highly, but it does happen. And so these are my tips and suggestions so that you can have a successful 2016-2017 school year. I know it's a little bit late because it's mid-September, but hey, it's better late than never. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Otherwise, just check back in every once in a while to see what I have, posted. It's okay to look cute. Like I said, it's okay to look cute, but you can't be cute and dumb going to school, because bad things happen. You won't be there next year, or you won't be on this earth next year. You get to choose.